Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video of mine. Happy Super Bowl Sunday if you are in the United States. But of course, that is football, and this is a football channel. Football. Um, I'll probably watch it. I mean, you kind of have to if you're living in the U.S. like I am. It's kind of like a annual tradition thing for casual observers of the Super Bowl, but I much prefer international soccer, international football, as you all know. And in this video, I want to talk about. I'm going to be ranking all the Hispanophone, the Spanish-speaking nations that are entering the 2018 World Cup. Um, this is sort of a continuation from my previous videos of ranking teams of similar geographical, cultural um, traits. And we have exactly eight countries that are Spanish speaking from three different continents, three different confederations. They consist of exactly 1/4 of the 32 teams involved, which is interesting. And coincidentally enough, all eight, through the randomness of the draw, have been sorted into eight different groups, which actually makes this video a little bit easier for me. None of these eight teams here are in the same groups. So here I'm going to do what I did in my previous videos. I'm going to rank all of these teams from, as far as quality is concerned, from best to worst, and then rank them according to best to worst chances to advance from their respective groups. So here we have Uruguay, Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, Spain, Argentina, Peru, and Colombia. You separate them into confederations, then you have something like this, and then Spain being the only European country. So CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, and Europe. Now let's rank them from quality from best to worst. Well, the best Spanish-speaking nation entering the World Cup is the motherland. It is Spain, 2010 World Cup champions, looking very good right now, in my opinion, a top three side in the world at the moment, dominating in qualifying. I think Spain is the best of the Spanish-speaking nations heading into the tournament on current form. Number two might generate a little bit of disagreement, but I have it as Uruguay, the second-placed finishers in South American World Cup qualifying. I think overall they're not better on an individual basis than Argentina is, but I think right now Argentina really hasn't found the right chemistry for them. Sampaoli still trying to figure his squad out, and that's why I have Argentina a little bit lower on this list, but at number 3, nonetheless, Argentina. Number 4, I think, is Los Cafeteros, Colombia. James Rodriguez, Radamel Falcao, Cuadrado, Mina, Cardona, a lot of really decent players. Number 5, I have Mexico. Really strong finish in CONCACAF qualification. Put them slightly ahead of Peru here. Peru went to the playoff in South American World Cup qualifying. Think that man per man, Mexico is just a little bit better, and I think they're also better as a team. Number 7 is Costa Rica, Los Ticos. And number 8, the worst Spanish-speaking team entering the 2018 World Cup are debutantes, Panama. So from best to worst in quality, I have Spain, Uruguay, Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, Peru, Costa Rica, Panama. Now let's rank them according to chances of coming out of the group. And this is going to be a little bit trickier because you have to balance Coming out of the group not just solely based on who has the most difficult group, but also the quality of the team. That's why this ranking is a little bit trickier. But let's jump right into it. So the Spanish speaking nation that I think has the best chance of advancing is Uruguay, both because they are a top side, as well as being in the group with the host nation Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. I mean, Uruguay very much should get 9 points from that group. They should. Number 2 was close between Colombia and Spain, but I went narrowly with Colombia just because I think their group is more wide open than Spain's is. They're in the group with Japan, Senegal, and Poland. I think any of those two teams can advance. Um, but even though that is the case, I do think that Senegal and Japan, well, I do think Senegal and Japan are not as strong as Morocco and Iran, who are in Spain's group. That is why I think Colombia has slightly better chance of advancing than Spain does, because I think a lot of people really are underestimating Spain's group and how difficult it is. It's not going to be a free ride for Spain and Portugal. Morocco and Iran, I said in previous videos, arguably the two best defensive sides in Asia and Africa, and Iran being right now the best team in Asia, Morocco being one of the best teams in Africa. And I do think Iran and Morocco are stronger than Senegal and Japan, which is why I think Spain will have it just a tad bit harder. Number 4, I have Mexico, because I think Germany is pretty much, they have one foot in the knockout stages, and it's going to be a race most likely between Mexico and Sweden for that second place spot, but South Korea can cause trouble as well. Number 5, I'm going to say actually Costa Rica. I'm a little bit surprised that I have Costa Rica this high up as far as likely to advance, because they are in a group with Brazil, but that second spot is really a three-way race between them, Serbia, and Switzerland. I think it's a toss-up who can get that second spot. Next up, I have Peru. Peru is sort of in a wild card group, that group with France. France being a World Cup team that you never know what you're going to get with them. They also have Denmark and Australia. Denmark really lethal, Christian Eriksen. And then Australia, they could play spoiler to someone in the group, prevent them from advancing. Group C has been the group also where I've gone back and forth on as far as which two teams I think will advance. And a lot of that has to do with France's inconsistency in recent World Cups. You never know what you're going to get with the French. And I think that just makes Peru's group more volatile and more unpredictable. Number 7 is Argentina. And I know Argentina is in the group of death, at least in my opinion, as I said in several videos with Nigeria, Iceland, and Croatia. But the reason I put them ahead of Panama here is just because their overall quality, even though they are not in very good form whatsoever, their overall quality is just, it's too much to be lower than Panama on this list. I got to give Argentina the benefit of the doubt, at least in some way. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I don't think they have the least likely chance of advancing, but because they are in the group of death, they are considerably low on this table. And in 8th place, again, it's Panama. They are the worst Spanish-speaking team entering this tournament, and I think they have the least amount of chance of advancing, probably because Panama might just be the weakest team in the tournament as a whole of all 32 teams who qualified. They're not bad, but they're just happy to be here. This is their first ever World Cup. They're just thrilled to be participating. So from chances of advancing from best to worst, I have Uruguay, Colombia, Spain, though these two here are pretty much interchangeable. You can switch them around if you want. Mexico, Costa Rica, Peru, Argentina, and then Panama. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe. How would you rank them from best to worst as far as quality? And how would you rank them from best to worst in chances to advance? Hopefully I'll make another video later today that you'll see. So until then, have a good one. Much love and peace out.